Who do you hire when you have bats? And who is the best person to fix your bat problems? I'm Benjamin, a residential bat specialist from Ontario, Canada, and this is 10 Red Flags. Every year, I am constantly asked what are the differences between me and the local wildlife control companies that advertise they do bat control work too. Now, usually the reason they ask me this is because they were quoted a cheaper price by one of these non-specialist companies. And although they would prefer to hire a bat specialist like myself, they would prefer to do so at the non-specialist price. Totally understandable. Now, ironically, every year I am inundated with phone calls and emails from homeowners across North America who tell me they hired a wildlife control company to fix their bat problems and got ripped off. And the only reason homeowners from outside Ontario are contacting a bat specialist from Ontario is because they are desperate. They're desperate because they still have a bat problem. They still need someone competent to come fix the problem, but they have no idea what a competent bat specialist looks like or how to find one. Now, part of the problem is that there are very few bat specialist companies in all of North America. That means for many homeowners, their only real option is going to be one of these local wildlife control companies. And I'm not saying that none of them can do bat control correctly, but if you randomly pick one, the most likely outcome is that they rip you off and leave behind a big old mess. Now, for those of you that think it's both self-serving and obnoxious for me to talk smack about my competition, let me just say you're right. Talk is bullshit, which is why I brought the receipts. Because in 10 Red Flags, we're going to take a hard look at exactly why so many companies suck at bat control, with 10 real-life examples of the mistakes they make and the scams many use to take your money. You are going to be shocked at some of what I showed you. Now, I cannot tell you who to hire, but 10 Red Flags will show you how to easily recognize the hacks and crooks you must avoid at all costs. This way, when you begin calling around, you will know what questions to ask, and you will know very quickly if the person you're talking to is qualified or a crook. Now, if it isn't obvious already, I'm going to be really blunt in this video. So to counteract this bluntness and to make this video a little more fun, I brought along my conscience. People say you don't have a conscience, and yet here you are. Wait, can I have a conscience? Sure. Cool. Anyways, I talk too much.
Man, you just love the sound of your own voice.
Yeah. If only they were exaggerating. Anyways, where was I? You were being obnoxious and opinionated. Right. Well, it's time for me to put up. So may I present your best defense against bat hacks and scammers everywhere, 10 Red Flags. Red flag number 1, no online bat control reviews. Now, if the company you're thinking of hiring claims to be experts in bat control, but all their online reviews are about raccoons and squirrels and skunks, it's because they're really experts in raccoons and squirrels and skunks, not bats. Now, this should be fairly obvious, but I've noticed a pattern. The majority of the homeowners that tell me they got ripped off did not bother to check the online reviews of the company that screwed them. This is the very definition of self-own, and it's a mistake you cannot afford to make. Now, you can find our online reviews all over the internet, and I'll save you the trouble. They're perfect. Except for 2 negative reviews written by people I never worked for. Apparently they spoke to me on the phone and they found me arrogant and opinionated. No. I know, right? It's a strange world. Red flag number 2, they use the wrong kind of bat excluders. These are bat excluders. After bat-proofing a house, you put them over the bat entry-exit points and it lets the bats out but not back in. Now, I want you to notice that ours are made of aluminum and not, say, mesh or plastic. Now, this is a really important point because these too are bat excluders, but they're made from mesh, and these are dead bats. They died after getting stuck inside. This is the work of idiots. All it takes is one little burr or sharp bit for a bat to get stuck and die. Now, other companies may use plastic excluders instead, but these are absolute for other reasons. Mostly because they fall apart in the sun, they break easily, and they can be ruined by mice, rats, and squirrels chewing on them. One of the unintended consequences of bat-proofing is that all that caulking will seal up openings being used by mice too. Any mice caught inside will have two options: chew a hole in your caulking or exit the house through the bat excluder. But excluders are designed to let bats jump out into open air, and since mice can't fly, chewing a hole in your plastic excluder becomes a common sense option. Mice do this all the time, which both ruins the excluder and allows the mice and the bats back in. Some of you may dismiss this possibility, believing that you don't have any mice. But we started using night vision cameras in recent years, and one of the biggest lessons we learned is that all houses with bats have some mice too. Wait, you must mean some houses with bats have mice too. No, all. Like without exception? Like without exception. This is quite often a shock for our customers, with many not believing us until we show them the video.
Holy.
Now, any real bat expert will be aware of potential mouse complications and will know what to do. All of this is why we now make, use, and sell excluders made exclusively from aluminum. Because not only will they not fall apart in the sun, they also won't be destroyed by chewing mice. And best of all, bats will not get stuck in them and die. So now that you know all this, be sure and ask every company you speak to, what kind of excluders do you use? And ask to see pictures too. Red flag number 3. They guarantee their work. Now, this is a scam, period. Wait. Are you saying that if you hire a company to fix your bat problems, and they offer you a contract that guarantees their work, it's a scam? Yes. Pretty much every homeowner that gets ripped off will have been given a contract with work guarantees. Yeah, but how's that a scam? Well, because it sounds like a good thing that they guarantee their work. Yes, it does. But you're telling me it's a scam. Yes. Yes, I am. And here is how it works. You see, the term guaranteed work sounds nice, but what they didn't do is guarantee they would fix the problem. You know, as in guarantee they would get the bats out of your walls and attics and stop them from showing up inside your house, which is, let's face it, why you hired them in the first place. So the term guaranteed work ain't worth shit. Yeah. And when the bats continue to be a problem, you will be told that, yes, the work they did is guaranteed, but since you're still having bat problems, that means more bat-proofing work needs to be done, and that's going to cost you more money.
Oh!
Yeah? Wow, they've set it up so you have to pay them to come back and fix their screw-ups. And so with this little turn of phrase, you have been scammed. It's Machiavellian. It's bullshit. And it's a red flag. So when a company tells you they guarantee their work, you tell them, no. You want a guarantee, in writing, that they will fix the problem, as in there will be no more bats in your house ever, and they will never charge you if they have to come back. Amen. Red flag number 4. They use 1-inch square mesh for bat-proofing work. Every year, millions of homes across North America are invaded by raccoons and squirrels that chew and tear their way into our roofs, attics, and chimneys. After removing the animals, wildlife control companies use 1-inch mesh to stop them getting back in. It's a staple of the wildlife control industry. Now, unfortunately, many of these same companies will use it on bat control jobs. And the fact that bats can easily pass through it does not stop these dumb from using it. And whether they're going in or going out, as you can see, they can pass right through it without much fuss. And look at this bat here. It's so easy for him to pass through this 1-inch mesh that he's squeezing through down here just to give himself a challenge. This is my competition. I don't know what these idiots are thinking. Now, preventing raccoon and squirrel damage is an important part of bat control because bats will absolutely take advantage of any other openings made by other wildlife. Now, in this example here, we have an opening made by red squirrels that was being used by them during the day and by the bats at night. So a large part of making this house bat-proof involved us getting the squirrels out and making it squirrel-proof too. And you will need mesh on bat control jobs to make things like chimneys and vents bat-proof. The solution is 1/2-inch mesh, safe and legal to use on both wood and gas chimneys. It can also be used to make box screens that are both raccoon, squirrel, bird, and bat-proof. Always check with any company you are thinking of hiring what size mesh do you use on vents and chimneys. And please fire, never hire, anyone using 1-inch mesh for bat control. Red flag number 5. They only use one type of caulk. Bat-proofing a house properly will require a ton of caulk and the use of several different kinds. So one of the surest signs that someone is a hack is when they want to use one type of caulk only, regardless of what it's being applied to. And it's especially bad if that one caulk is the cheap stinky silicone they sell in hardware stores. This is ugly, unsightly, unpaintable, and unstainable, and its use in bat control is unforgivable. If you ever want to see a house painter lose his mind, ask him to paint something that's covered in cheap hardware silicone. Now, we personally use about 4 different types of caulk. We use a ton of thermoplastics and latex caulkings, mostly because they're reasonably priced and they can be painted and stained if needed. For roofs, we go to a much higher quality and way more expensive special siliconized caulking that is specially formulated to withstand the pounding that it will take from the constant summer heat and the winter cold. This is a specialty product. You will not find this stuff in the hardware stores. Thermoplastic and latex caulk would be destroyed up here. You cannot use that stuff in the direct sunlight. Now, there's a lot more technical details to all this, but the bottom line is that if the person you're talking to can't talk intelligently about the different types of caulk and knows the correct application for each, or worse, proposes to use one on everything, then they do not know what the heck they are doing. Red flag number 6. They don't have a sheet metal brake. This is a metal brake. And if the company you are thinking of hiring doesn't have one, how are they going to make the custom flashings needed to seal gaps like we see here and here? You can always tell when a non-specialist company doesn't have the ability to make and install custom flashings, because they will want to spray ugly yellow foam in all the large gaps and slap their stupid 1-inch mesh on everything else. So, the ability to make and install custom flashings is a must, but only if you want the bat-proofing work on your house to look like this, but not this, and this, but not that. Then you better make sure whoever you hire has a metal brake and rolls of metal too. Red flag number 7. They don't know about drip edge flashings. The basic story is that good roofers will install a metal flashing called drip edge or starter strip at the edge of your roof. Now, the reason you need drip edge is because of this annoying physical property called surface tension. Surface tension will literally pull a little bit of rainwater runoff 1 or 2 inches up under the edge of your shingles. So good roofers are supposed to install drip edge to stop any of this misguided water from soaking into your framing and causing rot. Another great benefit of drip edge is that when it's installed properly, it also covers up these annoying little gaps found at the edge of your roof. These gaps, called carpenter's gaps or framer's gaps, some might call it shitty workmanship. Well, bats and mice just love to use them to squeeze into your roof. Larger animals like raccoons and squirrels will expand these openings, especially when there's rot caused by not having drip edge. Exactly. Now, unfortunately, contractors regularly skip on drip edge to save themselves a few $100. And it's hard to tell when it's not there because its absence is pretty well hidden by the shingles. The only way to know for sure is to climb up a ladder and lift up the edge of the roof, which I don't recommend you do. Yeah, we've lost too many customers that way. At the end of the day, you either have it or you don't. Probably about 40% of the houses we work on do not have drip edge, and that's when we have to get the brake off the truck and custom fabricate drip edge and install it on the entire perimeter of the roof. And making and installing custom drip edge is a pain. It's literally supposed to go on before anything else, so putting it on last sucks. But it's also not optional if you want to prevent rot and keep bats and other animals out of your house long term. Now, in our experience, non-specialist hack companies just ignore the whole drip edge question. Most won't even look, if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, 1-inch mesh, or try to fill the gaps with foam, or both. Like I often say, non-specialist companies often make things worse. Now, I have no idea if this little rant of mine has accurately conveyed just how important proper drip edge flashings are, but nothing, and I mean nothing, will have a bigger impact on the cost of bat-proofing your house than the presence or absence of proper drip edge flashings. So once again, if the person you are thinking of hiring doesn't talk about it in their quotes or contracts, run screaming in the other direction. Exactly. Red flag number 8. They only offer warranties of 1 to 3 years. Now, much like contract guarantees, 1 to 3 year warranties are BS. They are literally telling you that they have no confidence in their abilities whatsoever. We regularly offer our customers lifetime warranties. Yeah, but that's because we know what we're doing. Here's the thing. Our most common type of customer is the homeowner that gets the occasional bat showing up inside their home. And they only get the occasional bat showing up inside their home because most residential bat colonies are small. And since most residential bat colonies are small, it's not unusual to go several years between appearances. So with a BS warranty of 1 to 3 years, you can't even be sure after 3 years if what they did is working or if it's a fluke. Many wildlife companies are perfectly aware of this, which is why they offer these BS warranties. So, the next time one of them offers you a garbage warranty, ask them what happens to your bat-proofing work after 3 years. Does it melt or does it evaporate? And then go hire someone else. Red flag number 9. They use fear tactics. Fact. Your annual odds of dying of bat rabies is about 1 in half a billion. Fact. Most residential bat colonies are small, and the amount of damage they can do to your house is small too. Now, yes, we get some major infestation cases where the bats are a health threat and they're causing a lot of damage. But for most homeowners experiencing residential bat problems, this will not be the case. Now, despite this, many non-specialist companies will use fear tactics regardless of circumstances. This lack of nuance is a red flag. So if the company you are talking to immediately hits you over the head with fear talk, hang up and try to find someone that will actually help you and not just try to scare you. Red flag number 10. You want a cheap, simple solution. Having to pay to fix a bat problem sucks. This is what my customers tell me all the time. One of the least fun purchases they ever had to make. This is also why I get phone calls and emails from homeowners all across North America telling me how they got ripped off. Now, as much as I like to slag the hacks that rip people off, sometimes the homeowners are just as much to blame. Because your desire for a cheap solution and a quick solution is something that's easily exploited. This is why people buy bat houses. It's why they buy those scam sonic noisemakers. It's why they throw mothballs in the attic, and it's why they choose to believe the local non-specialist who promises he can fix their bat problems for a few $100. As much as I try to warn people, some people just don't want to hear it. Some things we just have to learn the hard way. Now, hopefully 10 red flags is going to help you find the right person to fix your bat problem. But when speaking to different companies, try to remember, if what they are offering sounds too good to be true, it's because it is.